Life has a beautiful design. At the highest level, we see the organism like a human being. Zoom in closer, we reach the cell, the basic unit of life. And zoom in even further, we reach DNA, the genetic code inside every cell. This is the architecture of life: organism, cell, and DNA. All living organisms share four main characteristics. First, reproduction, producing new individuals to continue the species. Second, growth, increase in size and number of cells. Third, metabolism, all chemical reactions that keep us alive. And fourth, response to stimuli, reacting to light, temperature, chemicals, and environmental changes. Now let's understand the most important foundation of biology, cell theory. Cell theory says three things. 1. All living organisms are made of cells. 2. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And 3. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Cells are mainly of two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are simpler and more primitive. They do not have a true nucleus. Their DNA is not enclosed inside a nuclear membrane. Eukaryotic cells are more advanced. They have a true nucleus and many organelles. One of the most important parts of a cell is the cell membrane. It works like a gatekeeper. It controls what enters and what leaves the cell. The membrane follows the fluid mosaic model, a flexible layer of lipids with proteins moving inside it. The cell membrane is selectively permeable, meaning only certain substances can pass through. Transport happens in two ways. Passive transport happens without energy, moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. Active transport uses energy, usually ATP, to move substances against the concentration gradient. Now let's compare plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells have a cell wall made of cellulose, which gives them shape and strength. They also have a large central vacuole. Animal cells do not have a cell wall, and their vacuoles are smaller. But both plant and animal cells have a nucleus and a cell membrane. Inside the cell, the cytoplasm is like the working space where most reactions happen. And the nucleus is like the control center. It stores genetic material and controls cell activities. Ribosomes are tiny structures that help in protein synthesis, meaning they build proteins. Now let's talk about DNA, the molecule of life. DNA is made up of smaller units called nucleotides. Each nucleotide contains a sugar, a phosphate, and a nitrogen base. DNA has a sugar-phosphate backbone and bases that pair in a special way. Adenine pairs with thymine, and guanine pairs with cytosine. This pairing helps DNA store information accurately. Here's an amazing fact. Human DNA is about 2.2 meters long, but it fits inside a nucleus that is microscopic. So the cell packs DNA tightly by wrapping it around proteins called histones. This forms chromatin, and chromatin condenses further to form chromosomes. Genetic material must have certain qualities. It must replicate, meaning it should copy itself accurately. It must be stable, so it can store information safely. It must allow evolution, meaning small changes can happen over time. And it must express traits, so the information can be used to build features and functions. This brings us to the most important flow of information in biology, called the central dogma. DNA is transcribed into RNA, and RNA is translated into protein. So DNA is the storage, RNA is the messenger, and proteins perform the functions. Proteins are extremely important because they do the real work inside the cell. For example, sucrose contains energy but cannot be used directly. The body uses an enzyme called sucrase to break sucrose into glucose and fructose. Enzymes are proteins, and proteins are made using instructions from DNA. Now let's test quickly. Plant cells have cellulose walls. True. Plant cells do not have membranes. False, because all cells have membranes. And mature plant cells have one large vacuole. True. So the correct statements are 1 and 3 only. Next question. Which organelle handles waste disposal and digestion inside the cell? The answer is lysosomes. Lysosomes contain digestive enzymes that break down waste materials. So let's recap everything. Living organisms are defined by growth, reproduction, metabolism, and response to stimuli. Cells are the building blocks of life with specialized organelles, and DNA is the genetic code that controls everything through proteins. Biology is truly fascinating. From cells to DNA, life is built with perfect organization. If you found this video useful, like, share, and subscribe. And comment DNA if you watched till the end. See you in the next video.